So you remember Operation Body Count, right? You know that terrible Wolfenstein ripoff by Capstone released in 1994? 1994. We we had Doom. So some housekeeping before we get into things. No, this isn't the Capstone 1994 games. I'm a masochist, but I'm also a connoisseur of good pain. Not any pain will do. This is the GZ Doom remake. It's much better, but also much different. That was redundant. If you want to see the original game, go to Civi's Review or get it off of Internet Archive or My Abandonware, because I guarantee you, nobody in their right mind would dare to have this game republished by their company. Some of the key differences to note in this version are as follows. It's got a coherent HUD, and there's no slime monsters or murder ceiling fans, nothing on your screen, weapons actually have differences, there are more varied enemies, terrorists are actually a threat, the story is still stupid, but that kind of cheesy 1980s, 90s violent Walter Mitty fantasy film stupid where it's fun. And my favorite, it's not all UN building. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to killing terrorists. Oh, um, colorful. I ain't no limp dick, but I ain't no fuck mountain either. This is as tame as it gets, people, so if radical Islam and or terrorism in general is a sore subject, I'll give you a few seconds to click off. The square's gone yet? The first mission is this. A Kurt Cobain knockoff with a Nosferatu 8 head that triggers the Jeezy Doom Bloom function named Victor was imprisoned in an embassy? Odd place to keep a terrorist leader, but alright. His organization, the Islamic terrorist group named Horus, why is an Islamic terror group named after an Egyptian god? Has come to spring him, and they're holding the ambassadors hostage. Now, you get introduced to most of the recurring cast of bullet dumps in this level, as well as your basic weapons. Let's go through the enemies. The Uzi guys carry some highly illegal ordnance, and they're a rather inaccurate hit scan. They drop Uzis and drop like flies. AK guys give you your first real weapon.
Air to the K to the motherfucking Z.
They're your first real threat. As they come in groups, they still drop pretty easily. The last normal-ish terrorist you see is a suicide bomber. The very conspicuously dressed suicide bomber. Oh boy. They're loud and they hurt. Do not touch. They can set up a chain reaction with other enemies close by. That wraps up the halfway sane and standard fare. Now, here's where we go off the rails. They're these annoying little drones. They shoot quick tracers, but I can never seem to dodge them. Pump them full of lead. Depending on where you go, you'll meet this hillbilly-looking guy in the bathroom with an Uzi. He's not too hard, kind of tougher than the Uzi guy. Someone had Italian for lunch, I see. The first enemy that really gives you trouble in this game is this buff guy with Uzis akimbo. Deal with him like Hansgras from Wolfenstein 3D, or else he'll shred your health. He'll also give you his Uzis. I'm not too sure why you can't just use any of the other Uzis to dual wield, but alright. When you go into the basement, you find
Rats, we're rats. We're the rats. We pray at night, we stalk at night. We're the rats. I'm the giant rat that makes all of the rules. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into.
we got a rat problem. The big and small rats are pretty interchangeable, both go down without much fuss, and both are fine if you don't try to hug them. Guarding the hostages are a couple robots with lasers. They're Quake 2 gladiators. Just strafe and you'll be fine. They drop erasures. You'll start each level with 2 guns. You get a sawed-off shotgun with infinite ammo. Do not bring it to a gunfight. It kills rats and that's all you can get close enough for it to work for. The Uzi is a fairly weak SMG, fairly inaccurate, but still mows down terrorists, and you can stun lock the big guys. The AK guys will give you their
Air to the K to the motherfucking Z.
The AK is the best jack of all trades weapon, accurate, mows down things better than the Uzi, still has lots of ammo. Keep the Uzi around it, stun like big guys, use this for everyone else. The last weapon you get in this level is the Eraser. It's a rapid fire railgun. Great damage, but you gotta scrounge for ammo in most levels. After you're done with the embassy mission, you're given this text screen. You've completed the first mission of Operation Body Count, soldier. But what you faced today was just the tip of the iceberg. Victor knows you're gunning for him, and he's got a whole army of suicidal nut jobs with guns in their hands and 72 virgins on their Okay. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Next level is where the level design really starts to get labyrinthine. You need all 3 keys to deactivate a nuke on an oil rig, and if you don't have the 3 keys,
Boom.
they also need to be put in a certain order, which can be found by flicking a switch on the top floor and playing Simon Says with a delay. And if you can't remember 3-color Simon Says,
Boom.
your second objective is to kill Dark Mode Hulk Hogan with 2 rocket launchers. You can also rescue a few hostages. I'm not sure if it's required or not, though. A guy in the briefing says that the embassy job was boot camp. He's goddamn right. This mission is where the game shows its true colors. You're not on an oil rig, you're in hit scanner hell. There's a couple new enemies and a new gun in this map. There's the turrets. They're basically paralyzed drones. Peek them with the eraser a couple times and they'll go. Hulk Hogan is a recurring big guy, but he's a boss here. He's laughable. Wail on him a bit with the eraser and he'll give you the Einzel Gone treatment. His rockets are easy dodge fodder. Your new toy is a rocket launcher. A fairly standard, high damage, low ammo rocket launcher. But it does feel a little weak. I don't know, I've never used it all that much. So get the keys, bag the cocksucker, play Simon Says, free some sprites, Bob's your uncle. Next level is The Rock! A cross between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rambo is creating a new super virus to destroy California. Actually, I think that's fine, let him do it. They're also holding some tourists hostage because of course they are. So you need to get in there and cleanse the virus with fire. Now this map is kind of a low point in my opinion, in that it's a hit scanner health desert without much cover. Most of my time in this level was spent peeking hit scanners or robots. This doesn't mean I don't like the level, mind you, it's pretty good. I just like the others more. There isn't much new in this level. Rambo Schwarzenegger comes as another recurring big guy. He's stuck on a catwalk above you for this level, so you can hug the wall and peek him. He'll go down easily, but keep your distance from that shotgun. You'll get a mini nuke launcher in this level. There aren't really many spaces that it's good to use in, as it has a huge splash range, but it's there. The lab's in the main jailhouse. However, you'll need a red key to open the cells in the remote, smaller jail so you can get the flamethrower. It's the only weapon that can safely destroy the virus cultures as far as I know. Normal bullets somehow cause these things to infect the entire west coast of the United States in an instant. So key, flamethrower, cocksucker, raft, and the hostages are gravy. The 4th map is called Desert Strike. I'm gonna leave that hanging for a sec. Nosferatu Cobain's got a friend who likes bombs, so he left a nuke with him. Now the Green Beret... Hold on, I just noticed something. How come none of these guys wear shirts? This is Operation Body Count, not Operation Ram Ranch. Though I wouldn't mind. The Green Beret wannabe is trying to replicate the nuke Victor gave him. That's not okie dokie, so you have to go in, fuck shit up, destroy some specially marked barrels, and retrieve the nuke. This whole level is a banger, definitely the best so far in my opinion, due in no small part to that music. Sorry, what we doing? Oh, yeah. You jump from building to building, dodge a bullet hell of rockets, mow down rooms of terrorists. It's so good. This is also where I found a good use for the rocket launcher. I don't know. I've never used it all that much. Remember Rambo? Well, there's a few guarding the village leading up to Bomb Guy's compound, and they go down with 3 direct hits apiece. Killing the Beret Boy gets you the red key, which gets you the stolen nuke. Watch out for the Hulk Hogans in the towers, as they caught me by surprise more than I'd like to admit. So standard fare, keys, cocksuckers, boom boom. But for the first time in the game, no hostages. Get to the helipad you came in on when you're done. The Green Beret wannabe will, of course, return, and he's sort of a clone of the Hogans, except he only fires one rocket. Level 5 takes you to New York Airport. An informant has been captured by Horus, and him and all the other airport security are being held hostage. They also cut the runway lights and are shooting down any planes that try and land. This one's another banger. It makes the open areas work much better than the third map and still brings the same, if not more, difficulty to the table. Out of the gate, you're facing hordes of hit scanners, bunches of bombers, and holy fuck, the rat bathroom has a rat problem. Levels 4 and 5 are where I feel the SWAT peaks into the oops all banger zone. There's no single boss in this level, instead you fight a bunch of beret boys on the runway. They also pack the entrance with buff guys and Rambos at the end. I cheated a bit, I lured the buff guys out and they got stuck on the moving floors near the entrance. It made easy work with the eraser. You do face a new big guy. There's this buff pyromaniac, shirtless of course. He's got to be a safety hazard. He's not too rough, doesn't do as much damage as either Rocket Man, but a bit harder to avoid, especially in that small control tower. It's a good thing that people become incorporeal when you tie them up. Solid level. Next level is pretty short and straightforward compared to the rest. The NATO Secretary General is being held hostage by Hulk Hogan, and not just any Hulk Hogan, the Hulk Hogan. He survived the R rig and called you out on TV. You know, I was calling him Hulk Hogan as a joke, but this man is really the pro wrestler. The briefing guy says you'll be facing elite troops.
That's a lie.
You still kill the same enemies. There is a new one, though. The guy in the green shirt, yeah, he's a pain in the ass. He's like the buff guy, but on even more steroids. Deal with him in the same way, just don't try stun locking him. It doesn't work. So you go through the floors, killing terrorists, rescuing captives, nothing too extraordinary. Still pretty fun nonetheless. That is, if you're not the one getting pumped full of lead. The 7th level has you trying to destroy explosive money before it makes its way into currency circulation. It also has you kill one of the most deranged looking characters I've ever seen. Seriously, this is the type of thing that gave me nightmares as a child. I wouldn't be surprised if I checked my closet tonight and saw him there. Die. You're dropped off a mile away from this guy's lab. Short mile. And you have to open the skylight in the laboratory because the money will explode when it comes into contact with outside elements. Who wrote this? Questionable premise aside, it's a pretty good level, save for the swarm of those annoying drones. You have to press 3 switches along the compound wall to gain access to the lab. They're guarded by Hogans, but when you press the switches, drones teleport in. Once you're done with that, go into the lab and have a railgun duel with the You have a railgun duel with the thing, and you get the red key, which you can use to access the shutters, open them, and run the world's shortest mile back to the helipad. So, you've killed 7 maps worth of terrorists, and the setup is getting old. Go in, rescue someone, kill a specific terrorist, destroy something, etc. Level 8 throws a bit of a curveball at you. So, you're driving to the summit in the UN Towers? Still not a place, but a nice reference to the original game. And you get kidnapped. Somehow. You wake up in Victor's dungeon, and he does a cliche telling the protagonist his evil plan song and dance. He then tortures you with the cattle prod.
Kinky.
You break out. Now, in true boomer shooter fashion, it's the penultimate level that's the hardest. Level 8 doesn't appear to follow that doctrine until you reach the surface. The surface is level 3's hit scanner hell, but dialed up to 11. You can turtle most of the guys on the ground from the dungeon door, but those building guys are rough. You get from building to building by strafe jumping the rooftops. Good luck finding the ground floor access to do that. Your goal is to find a computer map to tell you your coordinates, then contact HQ via radio in one of the buildings. You tell your boss about Victor's plan to blow up the UN summit, which segues into the final level. So Victor hijacked a plane, armed it with a nuke, and is flying into the UN towers. Oh no. So you gotta chase him, kill him, and play Simon Says on his corpse. This level is fairly small considering it's all on a plane, so it's mostly clearing out compartments and playing peekaboo with buff guys. Victor's scary. He has some sort of shotgun rocket launcher hybrid, but the rocket launcher shoots 4 rockets. That's a lot of firepower for an enclosed space. He drops the yellow key, and if you've been getting the other 2 keys, you can go down to the basement to play one final game of Simon Says before it's all over. After that, you get treated to this text screen. Without Victor's leadership, Horus rapidly falls into disarray, returning to the disorganized group of lunatics it once was. Over time, NATO eventually recovers the rest of their advanced arsenal. Victor Bollock's gravestone labels him a random tourist killed in an auto accident. You're the only one who attends his funeral, sending your nemesis off on his voyage to hell. Maybe you'll face each other again in some battlefield in the afterlife. Operation Body Count is over, and the world is at peace. For now. And that's all, folks. I more than recommend this mod. It's campy, violent Walter Mitty, action movie, Doom engine goodness. It's been too long since I've been subjected to hordes of hit scanners, and it hurts just as good as I remember. This isn't too difficult either, so if you're looking for a Blood Cultist tribute map pack, I'll apologize right now. I'll of course be putting the link to this mod down in the description. This is the first time I've tried my handed a review video, so I'd love to know how I did in my first rodeo, and maybe get some some tips and tricks from others in how to better produce this type of content. So as always, have a nice day.